In this unit, we talk about lesson plans. To begin, we must first focus on aims. Synonyms for aims are goals, purposes. So our aims are the reasons why we're doing the lesson. All right? First, goals for your last lesson. Think back to your last lesson and what your aims were. Was it to teach writing skill or to practice reading comprehension? Second, did you have different goals for different activities? Meaning maybe the beginning activity was to get them warmed up. The next activity was to sorry. Okay. All right, in this chapter, we're going to talk about lesson plans. And the first part of making a lesson plan is to figure out your aims. These are your goals for the lesson, what you want the students to learn. All right? So, think about your last lesson. What were your goals? Maybe it was to teach a writing skill or to practice reading comprehension. Also, did different activities have different goals? A warmer activity is maybe to get your students ready to do a speaking lesson. Some activities may be to simply give your students confidence. That is also an aim. It's also a skill, having confidence in your English ability. So all of those different aims can be part of one lesson. Next, on the TKT test, you're often asked about main aims and subsidiary aims. Main aims are, in general, what do you want your students to learn? Maybe you want them to learn listening skills and get speaking practice. Okay, they're very general. The subsidiary aims, however, are more specific. Maybe you want them to, maybe in a speaking lesson, you want them to practice coherence. Maybe in a pronunciation lesson, you want them to practice the f sound. So main aims are very general. Subsidiary aims are more specific. All right? Another type of aim is personal. Personal aims are what you want to do as a teacher. These are things like give clear directions or try to include every student or make your writing on the board easier to understand. I know my writing can be messy sometimes. So personal aims are your aims for what you want to do as a teacher. All right? Next, stages of a lesson need different aims. Just like we talked about in the beginning, different activities need different aims. So maybe the first stage of your lesson would be speaking. The next stage of your lesson would be reading. Okay? Be clear on your aims. Write them out before each lesson so you're able to focus on the appropriate skills. Now look at the follow-up box and write your answers. Okay, 3 good reasons to have aims, or 3 ways that aims can improve your lesson. 1, it can make you more focused as a teacher. 2, it could help you keep track of what your students have learned. And 3, it's a record for you to look back to in the future and think about how to connect it to other lessons, or to use again if something went very well. Next, a lot of teachers don't use personal aims, especially teachers that have been teaching for a long time. I think they are useful. I've been teaching for a very long time, and still I write personal aims. Not every lesson, but if one class isn't going so well, I try to think about why, and then sometimes I'll write do pairs differently, or be more encouraging in speaking, you know, something like that to help you get a better dynamic out of a class. Okay? In this last part, I hope you spent some time thinking about your next lesson and writing down your aims. You can do for your next 3 lessons if you want to. Take some time and practice these ideas.